there, and welcome to the video add-on for the tuning and truing feature in the November issue of Rifle Shooter. The first step is to set up your scope, a process that we'll probably look at in more detail in a future video. Assuming your scope is in place, the next step is to get on the paper. I always drop a target at 15 to 20 meters, whether it be FAC air, rimfire or centrefire. If you're setting up alone, spotting splashes at 50 or 100 meters can be almost impossible, so start close and save yourself lots of time and ammo. If you can, bore sighting is definitely the best option, assuming you can remove the bolt. If you can remove the bolt, use a rear bag to support the rifle. Look straight down the bore and align it directly with the target, then move to the scope, keeping the rifle perfectly still, and then use the turrets to align the crosshairs until both match up perfectly. Once you're happy, take your first shot. That should at least get you on the paper at 20 meters. At this point, it's just a matter of fine-tuning with the turrets. Once you're happy at 20 meters, it's time to move on to the next target, in this case 50 meters, and keep tweaking until you're completely happy with your basic zero. The initial setup is now complete. At this point, don't forget to reset the turrets to zero. While you're doing this initial setup, you can actually kill two birds with one stone by recording a string of shots over the chronograph. The average of a 10-shot string gave me a muzzle velocity of 1069 feet per second, rather than the 1050 quoted in the app and on the box of ammo. The three things you need to fine-tune a rifle is the scope height, the real-world bullet speed, and the BC of the bullet. What's written on the box is usually 5 to 10% off the mark, and almost certainly won't match the real-world performance of your rifle. I'm using Straylock Pro, and the basic ballistic profile for the CCI 40 grain hollow point gives me a speed of 1050 feet per second. I'm running a little faster than that, but with centrefires especially, this figure tends to be faster off the box than it is out of the barrel. It's all dependent on barrel length, twist rate, etc. Okay, you should now have two of the three essential bits of data. The last thing is to figure out your BC or ballistic coefficient. Once zeroed at 50 meters, it's time to do a drop test and calculate the real world BC. A drop test should be done at least double your zeroing distance, in this case 100 meters. Without making any adjustments to the 50 meter zero, take 5 shots at the top targets at 100 meters. Based on an unadjusted profile, Straylock was projecting a bullet drop of around 22 centimeters. That's why it's important to have taller targets for this kind of tuning. After shooting my string and averaging the centre of the group, it actually came out at 18.6 centimeters between the aim point and the point of impact. I punched these figures into Straylock Pro and my actual BC was generated. Assuming your scope height, muzzle velocity and BC are correct, you should now be able to dial fairly accurately to any distance.